In 1811, textile workers in England smashed machines fearing technology would end their livelihoods. 2 centuries later, and we stand at a similar crossroads with artificial intelligence. Right now, two people doing the exact same job, they could be experiencing opposite realities. But history suggests that the outcome might actually surprise you. Let's go back to the 1800s to understand what could be happening. After the textile incident, workers began to see a sharp decline in wages as machines took over the production. This allowed companies to hire cheaper and less skilled labor. Those workers were actually forced to move to industrialized towns and take on lower paying factory jobs. This is actually what fueled the Industrial Revolution. Over the next decade, real wages for textile workers fell, but eventually industrialization created more wealth. Now, let's look at AI today. Every single technological revolution led to job destruction, and every single time we ended up creating more jobs than we lost. But this time we have one key difference. AI isn't coming for factory jobs. It's coming for thinking jobs. So will history repeat itself? Will AI create more jobs than it destroys? To understand this, we need to take a look at the big picture first. By 2027, we're expected to have a net loss of 14 million jobs globally, and by 2030, a net gain of 78 million jobs. That's a massive gap. So why is this happening? Think of it like this. We're currently in the valley, the transition period where displacement is happening faster than creation. It's a restructuring of the labor market, not an ending. But there's something happening that we haven't seen before. And if you're in your 20s right now, you're probably experiencing it. I'll explain that in just a minute. Most people aren't actually worried about AI taking over their jobs. They're more worried about somebody that thinks AI can take over their job. And right now, there are estimates that about 30% of jobs could be automated. But here's the thing, really what they're talking about is automating tasks. And automating tasks is not the same thing as eliminating jobs. Think about your current job. Let's say it involves 20 different tasks. AI comes in and takes over maybe 8 of them. The repetitive stuff, the data entry, the initial analysis. You don't disappear. You focus on the other 12 tasks and become more proficient at them. And the data actually backs this up. Workers in AI-heavy industries are showing about 3 times revenue growth per employee compared to industries without AI. Higher productivity means potential business expansion, and business expansion eventually leads to more hiring, not less. So for most people, this isn't about losing your job. It's about doing a fundamentally different job. But here's the uncomfortable truth we need to talk about. AI is creating a massive disruption within the workforce, and the dividing line, it's not what you think. AI is actually starting to replace some entry-level positions. If you've just finished school, you might find it harder to find a job than if you're over 40. So why is this happening? Well, AI is really good at replacing codified knowledge. That's like the textbook stuff, the formulas, the procedures, the step-by-step processes you learn in school or in training programs. Fresh graduates, that's what a lot of people believe they bring to the table, and AI just automated it. But AI struggles with domain knowledge and key decision making. The intuition, the ability to make decisions with less than perfect information. Basically, AI struggles with being an experienced professional, but is good at most entry-level tasks. That's why we have this split. But by 2030, we're expected to have 78 million net positive jobs. Jobs are being created, just eventually. The Industrial Revolution, personal computers, the internet. All of them eventually created more jobs than they destroyed. AI is following the exact same pattern. But here's what matters. The people who thrived during the transitions weren't passive. They didn't wait for the shift to be obvious. They adapted, they learned, they positioned themselves before everyone else caught on. Understanding this macro trend isn't about fear, it's about strategy. The future isn't something that happens to you, it's something you prepare for. So, is AI creating more jobs than it's destroying? Yes, but by 2030. By then, we should see a net 78 million more jobs. But those jobs are only going to be available if you're ready. If you want to learn more about how technology is impacting the world, our economy, and your money, then you're going to want to hit subscribe and watch this video right here.